In the unbearable weight of massive talent, Nicolas Cage is peak Nic Cage as Nic Cage, and I loved it. Hey everyone, this is David Stark from Watch or Pass, and today I'm talking about The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, which is coming to theaters on August 22nd, 2022. It is a Nicolas Cage drama movie that stars Nic Cage as Nic Cage. It is amazing. He goes full on everything you would expect Nic Cage to be. He is over the top. He's a, tortured actor. He drinks a lot of bourbon. He just does everything you would expect, and it is amazing. It's wonderful. It's so creative. It's so different. I'm going to do a quick 5-minute review about the movie, which means I'm going to talk about it for 5 minutes, and after 5 minutes, I'm going to cut the review off no matter where I am. But my hot take is I think you should definitely watch it. It is just a love letter to Nic Cage and to movies in general. There's plenty of funny and self-deprecating humor in this over-the-top movie within a movie. Now, I'm going to tell you a little about the movie, a few things I liked about it, but as you can tell, I think it's really interesting. I think it's a clever movie. If you like Nic Cage, if you like movies in general, you are going to love this. So in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, Nicolas Cage plays Nic Cage, who is based kind of on him. Like, he is a famous movie star, but in this version, he is kind of washed up. He is past his prime. Not anything like the real Nic Cage. We all love Nic Cage. But in this fictional version, he is kind of past his prime and trying to climb that Hollywood pedestal. And he gets this offer to appear at a birthday party for $1 million. And he doesn't want to do it because he's not like a circus clown. He's not a trained SEAL, but he eventually has to do it. And he goes to this birthday party, and lo and behold, the birthday party is being thrown by Pedro Pascal as Javi, who is this independently rich person who also is a huge fan of Nic Cage. And so there's a lot of fun references between them. There's a lot of fun discussion of Nic Cage history, Nic Cage movies, and it's great because everyone, because Nic Cage is playing Nic Cage, everyone loves him. And I imagine it's probably what it's like to actually be around Nic Cage. Like, everyone wants to hear about movies, everyone wants to make references, and it's just a fun, weird, amazing movie, and it's really tough to explain, but I'm going to start talking about things I like. So things I liked about the movie. First, Nic Cage, it's just peak Nic Cage. He plays himself. He plays iconic characters in the film, but then it also has in his head an alter ego, Nicky Cage, who is just basically Nic Cage except younger. As actually in the credits, it's really funny because it puts Nic Cage as Nic Cage, and then Nicky Cage is Nicholas Kim Coppola, who is Nic Cage's real name. I actually had to look that up because I didn't realize that. But it's pretty fun because they play off of each other. Nicky Cage is the super movie star version of him. It's basically as peak Nic Cage you can get, and their interplay is fun, and kind of being in his head is fun. And this movie is just basically a big love letter to Nic Cage. The second thing I really love is the comedy. It's really funny. There's a lot of very funny scenes. There's both normal comedy, because you have a really great cast. You've got Pedro Pascal, who is funny as well. You got Tiffany Haddish, who does some pretty funny things as well. You've got Ike Barinholtz. You've got a really great comedic cast, but then also the situations are so funny. There's a lot of really good references to Nic Cage's movies. There's a lot of really awkward humor. There's even some self-deprecating humor. Nic Cage does say some things that seem self-deprecating, but then there's also this really fun pump up of Nic Cage. When Pedro Pascal meets him, he's like, how was it? What is he like? He's like, and Pedro Pascal's like, he's taller than I thought he'd be. The third thing I like is the meta. And I hate saying that, but it is really kind of a movie within a movie. And so the plot of this film is that Nic Cage and Javi, played by Pedro Pascal, for various reasons, they're going to make a movie. But the movie that they are making is kind of crafted on the things that are happening in the world. So the ideas that they have about the movie are things that have either happened or that are going to happen. So it does feel like it feeds into itself. And on top of that, there's also a lot of just kind of classic Hollywood type moments within this film. So you've got a chase scene, because that is what would be in the movie, and that's also what happens on screen. You've got a drug scene. Again, that's what would happen in the movie, and that's also on screen. And so you have a really interesting kind of fun play here where they are trying to make a movie, and in the process are making their own movie kind of become that. Fourth thing I really liked is this is just peak Nic Cage. Nic Cage is on here twice because this movie is about him, but this film has a ton of references. In the credits, there are references to all sorts of old Nic Cage movies. There are references to other movies as well. Movie buffs will like this as well, because there are a lot of references to directors and other movies and different Hollywood tropes and things like that. In one scene, they talk about their favorite movies. Number one for them, Pedro Pascal's character was Face Off, and Nic Cage's was The Maestro. Number two was The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, which comes up a couple times. Nic Cage must like this movie. And then number three, Pedro Pascal says, is Paddington 2. I was going to list my 3 favorite movies. It would be Gattaca, Zoolander, and then I gotta throw a Nic Cage movie in here, so probably Matchstick Man. Now, the fifth thing I liked is the ending. The ending